Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to another video in very, very snowy Columbus, Ohio. Jeep squad rolling by as usual in the wintertime. I'm like the most annoying Jeep person ever, and I don't even have a freaking Wrangler. Today's video is going to be on what do I do in the wintertime, and more specifically, it's going to be regarding this and my two cars that I have. This is obviously my E92 M3, which almost everyone probably initially subscribed to the channel for, and if you've been around long enough, you know that I used to have an Alpine White 335, which was I actually ran into a light post last winter time. So check those videos out. There's one kind of describing what happened to it, and there's one describing what happened to the engine of that car, which was totaled. But in the meantime, I've had this 05 Grand Cherokee for about 2 years, over 2 years now. This is definitely my vehicle I've been driving 99% of the time in the last few weeks. Obviously, it's because there's snow everywhere and I have summer tires and even winter tires on my M3. I want to keep it away from all the nastiness. So, in the meantime, while I drive this Jeep, which honestly, this sounds a little stupid, but almost has too much grip. Like, I'm trying to like hoon around and do donuts and mess around. Of course, not when there's other cars around, but it grips too much. You know, there's too much grip. It's harder to do donuts when you don't slip as much. So obviously, the more snow, the better. We've got 3-4 inches of snow here, which by any means is really not that much. But she's going strong, and that's it. But in the meantime, I actually did an Instagram post. I think it was a story, and it was like my phone was like right here, and I've put up pictures with the trickle charger on it. But I've never actually like had a lot of questions about it. Actually, let me unlock the car because it is locked, and if you touch it, the alarm will go off. So everyone was asking me. I put the picture up here, and everyone was like, "What is that? Ha ha! We know it's a diesel because you plug it in. Ha ha! We know it's a Tesla." Well, people were actually asking, "What the heck is this thing?" And doesn't make sense to get. And I'm actually, since it's cold, so this has normal mode. I'll go into this. I'm gonna put it to winter mode, but this is a trickle charger and or battery tender, battery preserver, whatever you want to call it. It is the CTEK 7002, and I use normal mode, or snowflake mode is really when it's below 50 degrees or so. I really only press that when it's below 30 frequently, so it gives it a little extra boost. And it does a couple extra things, but the good thing about this, I'm going to jump right into exactly the point of this. You want a basic battery tender if you can, but this one actually cycles through the battery cycles, which would be the equivalent of driving. So when you drive, your battery gets slightly drained, and then it fills it up, and then it gets a little bit lower. Like as you use the electronics, as you drive, as you speed up and slow down, the battery's not the same all the time, but this actually cycles the battery to keep it better even longer. And when it sits for a few weeks, even a few days, I usually plug it in, especially when it's cold. In the summertime, it's 2, 3, 4 days sometimes, but you might as well. It's just such a pain in the ass to replace a battery on these cars, and it's very expensive. It's like at least $300, I think. So I don't want to deal with that if I don't have to. Microfiber is pretty self-explanatory here. I do have XPEL on the paint, so it's really not a huge deal, but might as well. And then we connect to the positive battery connection, which the battery is in the trunk, guys, but you can connect it either way. This is just easier because the hood just kind of sets right here, and it's much easier than having the trunk partially open. And then this is the ground. This is not the negative, this is a ground. So ideally, I don't really know for sure if you would put it on the actual negative part of the battery. I think you would, with the exception of when you jump a car. You don't want to put the car that's receiving the jump have the negative battery terminal. You want to put it on the ground. So this is a ground. That other stuff, well, actually nothing else is grounded to this, but on some cars they have a few things that are connected. But anyways, that is it. And then obviously we just plug it right into the power source, which is up here for me. So that's really self-explanatory. We just have a cord going down here. I plug it in. All right, that's not any better. So it's super sunny. It's throwing the lighting off even with this camera, but that is what I do. If you guys were interested, what I'm gonna do is I'll put the Amazon affiliate link for the CTEK 7002, which is definitely a higher grade one. It's not the nicest one you can buy, but it's definitely not the cheapest. I think it was a little over $100. It's really not a big deal. If you spend $100 to preserve a battery that costs at least $100, you know, even longer, and you know, once a battery has died, I feel like it's never the same. Maybe it is, I don't know. That is sort of my just small investment in sort of just keeping the battery, you know, good and all that stuff. I do use it during the summer. If I were to go on vacation for a week and leave the car here, I plug in the car. So it's the equivalent of a Tesla, so I get the Tesla experience, but I get the V8 sound. So obviously way better than a Tesla. If you guys are thinking about a Tesla, definitely just do what I'm doing, and you should be satisfied. But all jokes aside, what I was trying to get at is I'm going to reach out to CTEK because they messaged me on Instagram because they saw the picture of the charger plugged in, and I'm wondering if maybe there can be some sort of discount. But even if there's not, even if it's like 5 or 10%, I wouldn't really worry about it, guys. But I will put the link below and kind of tell you guys like stuff like that. Like that was a very popular question recently, which was kind of random because I already did a video on it when I first got it. It just happens to be probably because it's cold, people are asking. But one other thing that I forgot to mention is you are able to unplug it from this. So if this was not under the hood, you could connect it from here. And also what's kind of cool is these connections you can put, it comes with another set of connectors that you can screw onto the battery. So the battery's in the trunk. If you wanted to permanently screw those on and put it under the carpet and then just plug it right in with one plug when you're ready, then that is super easy. This method just worked perfectly fine for me. I don't really see doing anything else. Maybe I'll think about it, but anyways, yeah, I definitely plug it in. Maybe it's overkill. I hope that answered questions. There's gonna be some fun in the Jeep. I haven't eaten lunch and it's like 3:30, so I've been going crazy today. I went to the gym as usual, doing all kinds of stuff. So I know you guys liked sort of my like update video about how my Jeep didn't start when I got back, which ideally I would have had a trickle charger on that, but like as you can see, if I had another trickle charger, I definitely would have plugged it in like right here, how it is now. But unfortunately, we're not really supposed to park overnight or for extended periods of time. Like I have parked overnight, just like either I forgot or I was leaving early or whatever, I don't care, you know. So maybe when I go next time for a week and it's cold, maybe I can just get the stamp of approval to plug it in, to plug the Jeep in, and pretend that I'm a Tesla. I think that is enough rant. Hopefully that was informative to you guys. If you guys are curious about trickle chargers, apply that concept that I use for my car to any car, assuming that you have the accessibility to a charger. So hopefully that taught you guys something, and I can't believe it's sunny out here. It actually is pretty cold. It's like 20 degrees, but more videos to come. Check them out. Don't forget to subscribe. And I've had a bunch of people ask me about being unsubscribed. It keeps freaking happening. YouTube is trying to like screw everyone, I swear to God. They're like demonetizing stuff and they're like turning off subscriptions. I don't understand how that works, but I don't want to tell you to click the bell, but because it's really annoying when people tell you to do that, but like it ensures like that's something that's been consistent and has never been broken. So do that if you are concerned that you're not getting all my videos, because I know that some people get unsubscribed. They've told me, I've gotten plenty of messages that they're like, I've been unsubscribed for like a month, I thought you didn't do videos anymore. I'm like, no, you know, there's a lot for them to catch up on. So anyways, click the notification, do whatever you want, to be honest with you, but I will say the thumbs up do make a difference, especially when the video first comes out. So if you haven't already, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. This is obviously way better than a Tesla.